Oh, hello. Oh my goodness gracious, we're early today. Oh, look at me go. Oop. Okay, that's muted. Wow, I actually started muted. Oh, it's gonna be a good day today. Oh man, it's gonna be exciting. Okay, hold on, we're almost done. Let me just link a few things here. Okay. Oh, so much to do today. So much. We're gonna start on our video game for the first time. Link. I expect viewership to be all over the place today. Okay, so that's there. We linked Discord. Okay. Let me just pull up one or two more things here. We can get going proper. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Almost ready. Okay. Think that's done. Now we start making the game. Okay. Angus the boss. Hello. How's it going? Let's make this fucking game. I think it's time. This one. Okay. So, close. Okay, so the only thing that's on stream today is basically the setup we did yesterday, but I'm thinking we're gonna start from scratch because, well, not completely start from scratch, but we're gonna fix this. I kind of want to start from scratch again. The reason why is because we messed around with modules yesterday, but that kind of fucked everything up. So I think we just start over again, which is fine. We didn't almost do anything really. Okay, close that. Keep the libraries. Import the libraries if we need it. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's delete a few modules here and we will start from scratch. So remove. Keep that. Okay. So now we have SDL libs. So whenever we need anything SDL related, which is gonna be import SDL audio.h, import SDL. We're gonna need joystick. We're gonna need what else do we need here? Video Volt? No, we don't need video, do we? Main keyboard. We will need keyboard. A lot of these might be legacy as well, to be fair. Well, I think we're good there. I think those are the three. There also is going to be one for text, but we'll worry about that later. Ready for some game making? Staying out of the rain? Well, hi there, Lemon Jumps. Staying out of the rain. It's sunny here. Well, sunny, but it's like really cold. Okay, so we're gonna hold off on any sort of error reporting for now. We'll just come out with the assumption that this is, oh, the classic theme. This is Cerno's theme. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna be honest, chat. This is the only Toho game I have ever played. Okay, and we're gonna import. Well, we'll figure that out in a second. So basically, we're gonna run a function called initialization that we haven't actually defined yet. So how are we gonna do this? Well, we have SDL libs, so let's make a new, hold on, add modules. Okay, so we're gonna make a new module. This is C++23, so we're gonna do this correctly. We'll keep libraries always here. We're gonna export module, right? No, just module. So we're defining this as the module's primary interface. Sorry, that's my game's audio. Or that's my background music's audio on my monitor. What's up? Hello. So we have our module in here, right? So we're gonna be exporting the name. And we're gonna call it initialization, semicolon. Export module initialization. So now whenever we import initialization, like here, initialization. I spelled that wrong, didn't I? No, I spelled it right. So now we're going to import initialization and then run the function initialization, but we need to actually import something. So we're going to import I think I can just import SDL libs, right? I can do that. Now we have all the SDL libraries. So now we're going to define void initialization. All right, so what do we need to initialize? Well, we need to access some SDL shit. I've never seen modules used. I'm sure I'm gonna get that a lot. That's why I defined C++23 right there as like a, hey, just so you know, this is like modern shit. Yeah, we're gonna use modules and not use lambdas. Get on my level, kiddo. All right, listen, if lambdas are ever to the point where I can do like, instead of like const auto address of like E or whatever the fuck, is it address E or just const auto E? And then it's just like parentheses, brackets, empty brackets. It's so confusing. If I could just be like lambda E brackets, parentheses, whatever. If I could do like this, but just because I'm using the lambda keyword, I can just automatically exclude these and it just assumes the brackets are empty, I would use lambdas. But as it is, the syntax is so much. Chad, this video is so old on this song. It's 11 years old. It has no views and it's still loading. There we go. Great flexing. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we have initialization. So now we're going to be doing stuff. Again, we can put in here. We'll put in comment, input, or insert error reporting needed. So that way nobody can get mad at me for not having error reporting right now. So we're going to start up with SDL init video. No, that was the enumerated value. Fuck. What? How do we initialize SDL again? This is why I like starting the project from scratch, because I always forget this. It's SDL. Interesting that it's not giving me the SDL functions. Do I really have to? Does this not work? No, it must. We did it before. We did spell it right. Wait. I'm confused why to use lambdas in the first place. Oh, I have to save it. Oh, thank you. God, you're so smart. Save. Oh, there we go. Now we're cooking. Ah, okay. Now we're cooking with fire. Anyway, so you can't get rid of the brackets. In C++23, you can have optional parentheses, but MSVC C++ latest doesn't have that yet. Oh, so save. Okay, I'm confused why to use lambdas in the first place, because if you have like multiple nested for loops, you have a bit of a problem in that it's a little bit hard to read. For like this, like, can have a lot of issues in it. Whereas if you had like, you know, a lambda is all on like, it goes parentheses. No, it goes brackets, parentheses, curly braces. Whereas a lambda can have like, you know, multiple like lambdas on the same line, right? And this is a lot easier to like maintain and shit. I think that's why you use it, basically to replace for loops, as far as I understand it, but I don't use lambdas. So, you know, grain of salt. This Toho playlist chat is not working out. I'm going to be totally honest with you. We are not cooking here. This is, we'll keep it up a little longer, but maybe we'll change that. All right. So we need SDL init. Well, how about this? We know this is going to work with SDL libs. We've done this experiment. So maybe now I can just import. Wait, do I have to do that? No. Maybe for now we'll just do SDL dot header. And we'll just do that as the import, just so I have access to like seeing the SDL like functions, which I guess is a little weird because I don't have that shit memorized. SDL initialize. We're going to be initializing SDL init video. And then we're going to be SDL init. We're going to be booting up image init PNG, which is obviously not the right term. It's not PNG. Wait, what? Is it image init? Image B. Oh, I don't have access to the header. Sorry. I need import SDL image dot header. I was like, wait a second, why isn't that working? That's not correct. SDL initialize, SDL init PNG. Except it's not SDL, it's IMG. There we go. So now we have access to PNGs, which we're gonna need. Although I guess I could just have everything as a bitmap, but you know, cringe. Same problem as last time where the LSP is just throwing red lines in random places. Well, not really. It's just that, yeah, exactly what's up. It's like, I want to see the functions that I have access to, because if chat, listen, kill me if I have to keep typing SDL render copy EX parentheses, like Jesus Christ. By the way, render copy and render copy EX, the only difference is just rotation of objects, which in a shooter is gonna happen a lot. So, the idea here is we're gonna be importing these, and then we're gonna test if I can replace all of these with import SDL libs, which is the same thing. The only this is just all of my SDL libraries I'm going to use. The idea is that I can have all of my C-base SDL libraries all in one big fat module that gets compiled once, and then I just import that shit everywhere, and it just works. However, it seems like when I import the SDL libraries module, it doesn't pull up the functions correctly, which is kind of annoying. So now we're going to have SDL window pointer. No, this is not a pointer. This is just an SDL window, I think. We're gonna call this local window. This local window will be equal to SDL. Oh, it does have to be a pointer, son of a bitch. SDL create. Oh, that's right, because SDL create window is going to be based around, it's going to produce a pointed value. Okay, gotcha. Create window needs to be based around const character, which is the name that's going to be on the top left of the window. 4 integers for location, width, height, and uint32. Now, chat. So the other modules or files don't know about imported header files? I think so, Lucas. I think you're right. Yeah, exactly. I think Lucas has the right idea. You're gonna need to get information out. You should stop calling game loop and initialization. Yeah, no, we don't have to do that now. So now we can just initialize and then call a separate module that has game loop or something. And then exit or something. Like, that's the idea here. So I can just boot it up, and then we run the next function from this other module that has game loop. Now, how we get information from initialization to game loop, we can figure that out later. We're good. We're fine. I don't know anything about C++ import or export. I'm figuring out nobody does. Export, import, SDLH, try an SDL libs. What? Wait a second. Export, import, SDLH. So you're saying go export, import, SDLH like that? Does that even work? So now we're going to be import SDL libs. No, does not work. Unless you're saying SDL libs dot SDL. Wait, can I just do SDL.h? No, because it's not a module. Can I just do this? Oh my my god, that worked. What the fuck? Wait, no, I didn't. I just imported the header. Fuck. Okay, that's fine. Yes, save the files. Okay, I'm learning this. Jesus Christ. Save, save. Okay, now import SDL libraries. And no success. SDL init video undefined. Oh no, it defined these. Wait, what? So it didn't find the enumerated value, but it found the functions. Wait, what the fuck? Export, import, save. How does that work? So it finds the functions correctly and the structs, but not the enumerated values. That's fine. Maybe it's like, I know these exist now because these exist, and these are all in the same library. And these are just enumerated values. So I guess if I wanted to, I could look up the enumerated values and just insert that number in there and just be fine with it, just to see what these actually represent. The enumerated red lines are an IntelliSense bug. Don't do that. I don't know. I'm just saying it's a possibility, right? I'm saying you could do it if you were much smarter than I was. Okay, gotcha. Also, hope everyone joined the early stream. All right? Nobody can call me late anymore. I came in early, boss. So here's what we're gonna do. This is my difficulty, chat. Here's what I'm thinking. Could I, and I'm not saying I'm gonna do this, but I just want your guys' opinion on like programming structure, because this project is gonna be my biggest project yet. Should I create a new module, call it like screen information or something, like it's a header or something, and then export a struct called screen resolution. This screen resolution, we're gonna import into the initialization module, create it here, so it's like, we call it struct screen window size or something, so it's like screen window size, screen resolution, and it's a rectangle, so we have like XX with height or something, and then we define the values in it. Can I do that? And then if I call that same struct somewhere else, this, no, that won't work. This is local. No, it's going to be recreating the same problem, right? Geargate, hello. If SDL gets updated, the enumerators might get new values. Oh, that's true. Okay, based. I got you. Also, chat, I saw something really cool. Did you guys know you could have an enum class, whatever term, and then define it as a character like pointer or something. You can define it as a character with like 8 bytes of value, and then your enumerated value types or whatever is gonna be like fire equals 0x00, or no, it was 00, right? Wait, 0001 001 or something like that, and the next one would be like 11, and then it's like 10 and like 10. Fuck. Anyway, you could have like 8 bytes in your whole like enumeration, and it's like a character size. I just thought that was really cool. How like every option in the enumerator can be like 1 byte of value. I just didn't know it was something you could do. I told you before, you need 0B01, prefix 0B for binary. Oh, thank you. 0B0000. No, it wasn't that much. If we look at best practices, you'll know what I'm talking about. Why though? It seems like over-engineering. Well, yes, but it's C++. Everything we do is over-engineering. Okay, so anyway, I don't think that struct is the best way to do it. Anyway, all that is to say, I'm trying to think of a clean way to get screen resolution and the renderer out of initialization function and into the new program cleanly. Fun fact, you can specify the type for enumerators too. Yeah. You can have enumerated class characters or enumerated class integers or 64-bit integers, whatever, right? Have you had to take a look at my code on Discord? Oh yeah, we had a conversation about, didn't you guys have like a debate about this or something? Yeah, I haven't read through all of this because it was a little over my head. Oh, people advertising Godot to me. Octopath. Oh my goodness. Okay. I would not use STD unique pointer because it throws exception. The game industry is typically not fond of C++ exceptions. But you can imagine a custom class that does the same thing as unique pointer but not throw exception. The whole thing about game object, game renderable hero is just placeholder to express the idea of hierarchy in game design. Yeah. I am a noob at game engine dev. Please do not use this. This code is not tested. Okay, hold on. All right, what do you have here? Well, oh my God, everybody has code. So we have, oh, this is how you pair it up in functions. Duck type. This is how I would type it after 5 years break. All right, what do you got here? Struct window size, int width, int height. You would have a class for renderer, a class for an SDL renderer, and then it would be not a derivative, but it would be like a stepchild of renderer. Okay. Then you would have a class window. Protected, you would spell out the definitions of the window and title. Virtual window, no throw. Don't know what that is. Const, string, get title, get size, SDL window, public window. So what you're doing is creating a big fat class. Wow, so many classes. Holy shit. Int main, return application, create, hello stream, window size, height, run. Int run, windows attach renderer. So basically what you're doing, what are you doing? This seems like a very complicated way. What's the benefit of doing this is, I guess, my question. Because you're creating like 5 or 6 classes for the explicit purpose, not related to this explicit, but the explicit purpose of just, like at this point, why not just make a global renderer? Like, is there a benefit to just doing this over just using a global renderer or global window? Like, I get you don't want everything to have access to something, but I mean, with this effort, it feels like you're just loot me daddy. That is not my code. Oh, geez. All right, what's going on here? What do you got going here? What's your plan? Let's see, array. Oh man, imagine having to include like 4 headers in 2023 when you can just use module, or no, not even that, just include std semicolon. All of these are taken care of. I think memory has its own thing. And maybe utility does too, but still, I'd rather have 3 includes than 8 goddamn headers. What the hell? Lines 175 to 290. What is this? Like somebody's engine? All right, class application, final, public, application, create application, Windows config. If std initialize equals 0, get error. Get error, get error. Unique pointer game, make unique game. Oh. So what you're saying, or, oh, I kind of see what this guy's doing. So this guy is running, wait, make unique game. The order here is important. Renderer reset, Windows reset, SDL quit. Oh. Renderer move, window move, game move, config, other config. And this is still using SDL, huh? Unique pointer, unique pointer. Okay. I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna be frank. I don't think I'm gonna do this because I think this is the kind of thing you need if you're going to be running this program. Like, it's an extremely big project is what it feels like, you know? Like, as I look through this project, this seems like it's like the baseline for like something huge. And I don't think I need that much. I think, well, let's put it this way. What if we have a game that only runs at 1 resolution? Those are our AII thing. You don't need to do all that. I don't think so either. But like, if our game is only gonna run at 1 resolution, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how to export that rectangle. You can totally do that. I mean, I could. I don't, well, could is a strong word, chat. Could is a strong word. I mean, I think, what did we do before? Did we just export the renderer? Really, the only thing about this resolution size, I guess I never really thought about that. Well, maybe this is just a C++ question. If I create a class object inside of a function, the scope of that object is limited to the function. But if I pass the address of that created object in the function, that address cease becoming useful because it points to an empty object, because at the end of the scope, even if I have a pointer to like the object, it still would get deleted. But if I create the object out before the function gets called and I pass the address of it, then I can fuck with it, and that original thing still gets changed. The address is, you should do proper error handling. Even if you use C++ exception or out parameter return bool, it would be better. Pointers can become invalid outside of scopes. Pointer smuggling, but yes. Smuggling? Wait, I can steal a pointer? That's cute. That's where heap allocations come in. When you create it with new, it stays in memory no matter what. Like that? Like that? If I create like a new int a pointer equals new int a address of a. No, that doesn't work. I don't know how to use the new keyword. I've never done like new or delete or anything. I just haven't had the use for it. So here's what we're gonna do. Stop distracting me. SDL for now. I kind of just want to make a parameter, make it equal to a rectangle, and then we just create resolution. Like initialization, create resolution, like that. And then this exports a rectangle. Or something. I mean, I know that's kind of obtuse, to be fair. I mean, at that point, I should just define it in here, huh? Because then I'm having this same problem where I can't export the renderer either. Keep going and try to solve that get the information out plus handling error. Okay, I can promise you this stream will not be an error handling stream, okay? We're gonna do game logic shit first. And then if we have issues, then we'll insert error handling, okay? We'll get there. Don't worry. See, we have the line. We're good. This gives me permission not to put error handling in right now. Well, anyway, SDL rect. We're gonna call this screen resolution. Screen resolution, which is going to be 0, 0, 400, 400 for now. Then this is gonna be, we're gonna call it Cass and Gary, comma. The int is gonna be tricky. It's a very unique enumerator type. It's SDL window POS not defined. Was that what it was? Window POS. Window POS. Something about POS. Hold on. There was something about position that I needed to remember. I always forget this line. I always have to look it up, and I regret it every goddamn time. Not set window position. It was window something. Window always on top, window maximize, SDL window borderless. No, that goes at the end. It was position undefined. That's basically what I'm looking for here. Get window, create window, get window border size, destroy window surface. Was it win POS? Set Windows position, window event exposed, window pop-up menu. Ew. SDL. We'll just look up SDL here, see what I get. SDL POS for position. No, not there. Window. Input focus. Borderless. Oh, I can limit your mouse input inside of the screen without doing some weird ass programming. Spaced. Window event leave. Window event enter. So I can pause the game if I leave. That's cute. Window event. All right, I gotta look it up. What is programming if not looking at what other people figured out first and figuring out, you know? Okay, what was it? It was basic shit. SDL init. Create window. SDL window POS undefined. Motherfucker. Okay, fine. SDL window. Undefined. So this doesn't work, probably because this seems to be lowercase. Is that what happened? Oh. Does it all need to be capitalized? That didn't work. What's wrong with my initialization? Chat, why is it that always this line I struggle with? Window POS undefined. Window POS undefined. Okay, gotcha. So this is correct. SDL window POS undefined. I wonder if it's because of this. Maybe that's why. Oh, because I don't see the enumerated values. So if I did like import SDL header. Oh man, I bet that's exactly why, because I couldn't see. Oh, and that's why I couldn't see it. So now it'll work. So if I do SDL mouse button down, now all of these should connect immediately. Yeah. Maybe I did do this wrong. SDL window POS undefined. Doesn't find it. Okay, I know this is correct. Okay, well, I know it's correct. It just needs to be working. Well, that's a problem. I know that works. And then SDL window shown. It's this one. All right, that's done. IntelliSense just might be having a super aneurysm. Yeah. Chat's gonna help you debug, and you will not see the value in proper error handling until you share your game to someone, and it will crash, and you have no idea what's going on. We'll get there, chat. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. You could just have it not handle errors, which is fine and totally valid in some scenarios. Like, for example, technically time can fail to return a timestamp. Most don't know this. If it fails to get time, it returns -1. December 31st, 1969. You might have seen the bug before. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Maybe in, like, older games. Or is that why Steam's oldest birthday listed is, like, 1969? Is that why? Probably not. Okay, so now we have a window. We have a pointer. Okay, so now we're going to do SDL renderer. Not a pointer, importantly. And then this is going to be... Oh, no, it must be a pointer. Right. And this is going to be local renderer is equal to SDL create renderer. And this renderer needs the window, local window, int -1, SDL renderer accelerated, and SDL renderer present vsync. And I know you guys don't see this, but deal with it. All right. So that's done there. So let me zoom out a little. Maybe this will help. Yeah. So now that's it. This is everything I need. Now I need to grab this renderer and this screen resolution out of this function, because this is all I need just for the initialization, right? Although, I wonder if part of the initialization is setting up all the textures. Actually, that's a question for programming here, okay? I wonder, is that like a... I just have a question about like the structure of how you do your program. If I have like 80 textures to load, is it better to do that right now in the initialization, or should I do that in the game loop? I think it's better to do that in the initialization, as long as those textures can go somewhere, right? It depends on the game. Well, it can't go in the initialization, because the only thing this does is create a window and everything. But what we do on the window is fine. I mean, if I really wanted to, chat, I could just recreate these somewhere else. But at this point, why even have the initialization function, you know? How many levels do you have? 3. So some assets can be huge, and that takes a lot of memory. So streaming some assets is the correct solution. But in our case, trust me, there's nothing here that's huge, except maybe audio? But with games like yours, yeah, it shouldn't be an issue, right? It's not an issue. Okay. Well, we won't worry about that then. So here's the thing. We're going to come back to this later. Well, no, I can't come back to this later. The next thing we're going to do is source project add module. Module interface unit. First of all, save. Save. Then we're gonna rename this, because I'm a dumbass and I forgot to rename it. We're gonna call it initialization based. So now this calls the initialization import. And then it's going to run these with this function. Why doesn't this work? As is. Wait a second. All we're doing is calling initialization under this module. Module SDL libs, module initialization. It should work. Undeclared identifier. Ooh, uh-oh. Well, I mean, I guess I could just do this for now. Maybe we do get rid of SDL libs. I mean, there's no harm in, there's no harm in doing that, right? Uh-oh. What? What? Screen resolution dot width. Screen resolution dot height. Initialization not found. Oh, now it did. This isn't found. What the fuck? Do I have to claim it's void? Or do I have to do like initialization? Why didn't we have these issues yesterday? Did I do something wrong? Void? Oh, is that what the issue was? Ah, there we go. Okay, now we're gooch. Okay, so I had to actually call out what kind of function it is? The value? Okay. That is not the issue. You just defined a function pointer. Undo and export initialization your function. Hey, sorry to bother you, but I want to offer a promotion on your channel. Oh, you are bothering me. Is it okay if I just ban you? Where are ya? Where are ya? Where are ya? There you go. Get banned, fucko! You just defined a function pointer. You had the exact same problem yesterday. I said put export in front. I did put export in front. Oh, this export. Oh, shit. Oh, you're right. Oh, I am a moron. Actually, I did just create a whole new function of nothing. Okay, that's more based. Okay. So now I want to try this again. So we're going to put module, boom, export module SDL libraries. All right. Now we try this again. Import SDL libraries. We're going to see if this works. And it does not. So what I have to do is export these. And it does not work. So I do need these headers every file. Okay. Based. Which is fine. I mean, it works. It's not like this is a bad thing or anything. It's just more like, I understand it a little more, because yesterday that wasn't working at all. It was basically an empty file. Yep, there's our window. It flashes up in a second. Okay. What error message? There is no error message. It successfully ran. Okay. So now, even though we have issues with it finding certain enumerated values because of our program, we've talked about it a bit, this is fine. This is still a valid thing. In fact, the SDL video works, but the image doesn't, even though they're both headers that we just implemented. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so we're going to get rid of basically all SDL libs. And if I ever need it, we'll just copy and paste this, which is fine. It still does the module thing, so it only compiles once. It just looks a little messier, you know? Okay, let's get rid of audio for now. We don't need that. We need image, we need header, because that's how we get PNGs. Okay, that's done. Now, we're going to call this class, this module. We're going to rename it. We're going to call it textures. Okay, so under textures, we're going to have to think, what do we need for textures? Well, we need not audio import. We are going to be exporting module. We're going to call it textures. And then what do we need? Well, we're going to need to export a class. And we have to be careful. This class is not just going to be enemies. It's going to be every texture in the game. It's going to be bullets. It's going to be enemies. It's going to be the hero character. And I'm even thinking that when we make enemies, we're just going to make an enumerated class of object texture. That might be what we have to do. I guess. And then the enumerated class would just have different names of enemies. I think that's how we handle that, right? In fact, we might even do the same thing with bullets, where bullets... No, let's be careful. I'm thinking about how to organize this in my head. Maybe textures should just be the visual appearance of this, right? It doesn't need collision and shit in here, right? That can be its own thing. We can have a class enemy that takes in an object of class texture and an object of class collision. Or no, it wouldn't even do that. It would just use the collision and then just have its own values of like its X and Y collision coordinates are based on its X and Y of the image that you're importing for like the character, you know? So what does it need? It needs, we'll call it create texture. And in these values, it will be defined as, well, what do we need? We need a way to make the texture. We need a way to destroy the texture. Destroy create texture, cute. We need an alpha. What's that called? Whoa, God, we need so many things. Wow, I never really thought about how much a texture needs. SDL, what is it? Get alpha? Was that what it was? Alpha, opaque, alpha, transparent. These are like enumerations. That's like setting a value. Pre-multiply alpha, set surface alpha mod, texture alpha mod. That's what it was. Set a function definition for this. Boom. So now, int create texture, set texture alpha mod, not found, explicit type missing, int assume. So now this value in here is gonna be 0, 0, right? 0xff? I thought that would set the alpha for the texture, unless it's saying it wants the texture in here, maybe. In any case, we need, well, here, let's just do this. This will be easier, right? We need texture path of image. We need, what do we need? Texture path of image. We need texture X, Y values. Sprite sheets need X, Y width, height. We need to alpha out background of texture if sprite, well, no, just if it's a sprite. Alpha out the background, and then we're going to need to define borders for collision. Because everything that uses a texture is going to have some sort of collision if enabled, right? Textures don't need an XY, it needs width, height. Based. Okay, yeah, because if it's a texture that's not on a sprite sheet, if it's like its own texture like the banana, you don't need XY. I guess it's all gonna need XY, isn't it? X, Y, width, height. We're gonna need the alpha out background, color and number. Define the borders. Do I care about RGB at all? Like defining those values? Only if the background, well, the background is going to be black on the bullets and like 90% of what we're going to be alphaing out. So I guess I kind of care. You want to know something cursed? You can replace the curly brace operator with % less than, % greater than. That is cursed. That sounds like some C shit. You are writing the signature for the method here. You don't pass it parameters. You declare what parameters the methods can accept. Silicone Milk, hi, sorry, I just now saw your message. You are writing the signature for the method here. You don't pass it parameters. You declare what parameters the methods can accept. So, oh, I see what you're saying. So instead of defining like if we were gonna be like alphaing out the background, what we actually would put is SDL. If it wasn't commented, it would be like SDL get texture alpha or something like that. In here, we would define it as SDL create texture, maybe? In there, we would define the texture. Or maybe we would define like alpha value that we assign later or something. Oh! Fuck. I see what you're saying. So we need, when we create the object, we need to define some alpha value is equal to whatever the person decides, and then this gets inserted with alpha value. Okay, that's what you guys are saying. Okay, I got you. You had it the first time, a type. Okay. You said that textures don't do collision. I think you confused sprite with texture. I mean, effectively, it's the same thing in our case, right? Because we are indeed creating textures, and we're gonna be like movement with textures. Our collision's gonna be based on the texture that we implement. Like, basically everything is a texture. It's like, you know how in League of Legends, everything is a minion? Like Jarvan's wall is a minion. Yorick's wall is a minion. Anivia's wall is a minion. The walls in the game are minions. Towers are minions. It's like everything is a texture. You are not loading a texture for each bullet on the screen. No, we're going to be rendering a copy of the text. Oh. Oh, that is a problem, isn't it? Because if I render the same copy of a bullet, the values that we're going to be giving it, are they going to have the same values? No. Yes? Hold on. Here's what I'm thinking, right? This create texture class, right? It's going to be for bullets and enemies and the person and everything, right? So if it's gonna end up being an enemy bullet, it kind of matters. We're not creating the whole object every time, right? We're just rendering the texture in the end, which I will have here. But I guess I'm not rendering the object. Oh, wait, hold on. Am I confused? Make everything out of 1x1 textures in a convoluted way of doing per pixel work? No, that's not what I'm doing, I don't think. You load textures of a sprite sheet, and from that you render a region of the texture onto the screen to represent a bullet. You load a texture of a sprite sheet, and from that, you render a region of the texture on the screen to represent the bullet. But what if those bullets have different values? So hold on, let me pull up what... Oh, it's so bright. So if I do... This is going to be our bullet sheet, right? This is our sprite sheet for every bullet in the game. So you're telling me that if I grab, you know, this bullet... You're saying I should create a texture that is a square that handles all the bullet here, right? And then alpha out. By the way, if we alpha out the black, don't worry. It's going to be per pixel collision, right? It's not based on the whole square. So you're saying we should create a texture for the whole sheet of bullets. What you guys don't even see all of it. All I wanted to do was scroll right, and I'm just not getting that. No. You create one texture for the whole file, And then if I wanted to render in a bullet onto the screen, but different bullets are going to have different traits, right? Like, I understand if everything was the same, that would work. But like, these bubble sprites here are going to have a different kind of pattern than these sprites, you know? Everything is going to have like different movement speeds and stuff. So we're just making one big texture. And then whenever I need a specific bullet, like bullet type, you know, bubble, like shoot bullet type bubble or something like that, then it's going to be based on the rendered object and not the original texture? Is that what a sprite is? It's like a rendered version of a texture? Those traits will be in the class bullet, not the texture. And class bullet will call upon the texture and then define it from there. So bubble will be of class type bullet, which takes this texture and then defines where on the thing to look. Okay, that makes sense. I guess I don't need the alpha value then, right? Oh no, I guess I do, because then whenever I take class type bullet and I take this sprite sheet, that bullet is also, or that texture is also gonna have the alpha value baked in, which is black. Okay, cool. The only thing I wish is this little bubble here was not gray in the middle. I wish that was just black, but I guess that makes sense, right? It's supposed to be, it's less transparent. It just makes it a little difficult for me. I guess I can just have two separate alpha values, but whatever. Okay, it's so bright. Okay, so let's do that. We don't need collision shit. We kind of need alpha stuff. Alpha, color, define. What else do I need for a basic texture then? If we're not putting anything collision related, if we're not going to be defining the X, well, I guess we do need the XY width and height. It's just going to be 0, 0 width height. We need to load the image. I need a renderer, but that's fine. I can figure that out later. Bullets could have a sprite or an animated sprite inside of it. You can fix it later through an SDL function to change texture pixels of a certain color to another color of your choice. Okay. So I don't even need the alpha definition here, do I? I think I do, but whatever. So all this is gonna do... So later on, if I do like create texture banana, and I give it whatever parameters, what parameters do I care about? I care about the string banana.png. Is that all I'm gonna want? Sorry, I jumped the gun a bit. Because you mix up sprite and textures, you're gonna have a texture for each bullet, and then you're gonna run out of VRAM, maybe not with your 4090. Listen, if City Skylines 2 can make the goddamn Steam Awards, so can I, all right? Goddamn justice in the world. What else would I want when I create a texture of any kind at compile time or load time? Besides the name or path of the texture that's gonna be created. Because the XY width and height, that is gonna matter, right? For the size of the image, but maybe not. Because SDL load image is already based on the renderer, which is gonna be based on the size of the window. So it's the whole window. Boy, this is a tough problem. So I don't even need to define a renderer here. Maybe I just do that. Maybe I'm just like create texture here, done. So later on, I can be like create texture. Oh God. So later on, under the, like, whoops, oh God, oh Jesus, oh man. Hi, Karma in the YouTube chat. I see you lurking there. So later on, under like the bullet class or whatever, we're going to be having some sort of definition. And in that, we're going to be using create texture. And then we're going to be defining it as whatever path we have. So like bubble or something like that, right? No, I wouldn't even do that. It wouldn't be a definition. It would be create texture bullet path or something like that. Or maybe even just path. And then that way, later on, when we create a bullet, it would be bullet bubble. And part of the definition would be, you know, what is it? Bullet sprite sheet .png. And then that would be part of it, right? That's how I would make that bullet based on this path. Except that's not true. That is, yeah, exactly. Oh, I just caught that. No, I would not do this. This goal, this class does not create the texture. That is not the purpose of it. So I guess my question is, when we make our bullet bubble, whatever that is, when do we load the texture? Do we just load the texture at start time, at load time when the game starts? And then whenever we need it, we run. It's almost like a function we're going to be calling like 3 million times. Are we going to be making a function that will create a render copy EX, because there's going to be a ton of rotation, render copy EX that calls like render this part of the image? Or are you saying, or am I skipping a step? Should I be, instead of just the bullet, should I just be making sprite and then later on make export like bullet? Where bullet can require like sprite, you know, bullet sprite or something like that, and then call it like that. Is that better? Bullet sprite path or whatever it is, right? Is that stupid? So when I call bullet bubble, it's gonna call the sprite and all the information that's gonna be in here. Hold on, let me just do this so you guys don't freak out. Like that, and then this is gonna have information. Why does putting a dot make it freak the fuck out? Like that. And then whatever. Is this like a dumb way to do it? Because the distinguishing like thing here is the difference between a bullet sprite and a texture. I understand what texture is, which is just the bitmap, the sprite sheet, right? And then we're gonna be rendering the bullets, but those bullets are just sprites, right? No, you would have sprite in bullet. In sprite, you will have a texture pointer or an SDL texture pointer. Depends on whether or not you want the texture RAII wrapper class. Let's assume not. So what you're saying is this sprite will go under here. Oh no, I see what you're saying. This would exist. And then we're going to be pointing to a sprite. So you're saying that what we should do is have something like, okay, so you're saying we should have create texture bullet sprite sheet. Then we're gonna have sprite bullet. No, sprite bubble. And that bubble will be based on that path and will contain all the information of it. So like the alpha, the rectangle, whatever. McDonald's sprite, hell yeah, Fitty Doo. Hi, Fitty Doo. I haven't seen you here before. Hello. And then we'll have whatever information that needs. Then we're gonna end it with, when we actually want to render it, it's gonna be bullet bubble? Wait, would I even call a bubble a bullet? I guess I would. So I understand this. So we're gonna create an object called this. So when we have bullet, what does that mean? What are we defining here? If we have, where's my music? Hello? Man, we're still on Toho 7. Holy shit. Oh, thank you for explicitly writing it out. So class sprite, SDL texture pointer, texture, SDL rectangle, clip. Then class bullet, sprite, SDL rect collision box. All right, so what's the point here? So like, why make this distinction at all? So we're creating a class object sprite called sprite of this bullet, and this object sprite will have the information of the pointed texture called texture and the rendered rectangle called clip, which is like like you're clipping out with scissors. Like it's that part of the texture sheet. Lucas, hello. So this is also a pointer. Okay. So you're only doing everything by reference. So if you need to print like 1,000 bullets, you're not re-rendering a PNG like 1,000 times. You're rendering a copied. This is going to be rendering, and the collision is going to be based on a pointed out. This should have a star here. There's a pointer. So we're pointing to a sprite. The sprite will be pointing to the original texture and will have some sort of rectangle on it. And the texture itself will be based on the path. Oh shit, okay. I get it, I understand. I now understand what you guys are saying. So I guess now, now I get it especially, because this texture pointer, if you make the sprite the bullet, then every time you render a bullet on the screen, you're gonna have an issue where you're going to be clipping out of the sprite sheet every single like instance of the bullet, right? And that's probably bad. Maybe you want a very big bullet that looks like a small bullet? I guess. Oh, you know what? It could be, to bring up that sprite sheet again, it could be, that actually is kind of a good point. Hold on. It could be that in this bullet of like, what's a good example? Like this cross here. What if, okay, this whole sheet is the texture, right? We only load that once. Then we create a sprite that is this square around this cross. And that has all the visual information we want, probably also including the alpha values, right? Then we have a bullet that shoots and references that sprite, and its collision box is this square inside, so you can get hit by the tails, but not this. Oh my god, that makes so much more sense than what I was just imagining in my head. Holy shit. Okay, now I get it. Thank you. Okay, that's easy. So now, coming back here, so we're gonna keep sprite, we're gonna keep bullet, and we're gonna reference sprite. Okay, I like that. I really hate that pointer being in the middle there, but I like it. I don't want to call it sprite though, we'll call it bullet sprite. Okay, and that's gonna have whatever else information we need there. Then we're gonna be, and you bet your ass at the end of this, we're gonna be fucking destroying the screen with bullets. Okay. So then we're gonna be texture pointer path. So we don't need this because we're not creating the texture here. We're gonna be referencing that texture. So, oh God, wait. How do I define that? So we'll use our bubble example again. So this, create texture, its only needs as an object, we'll do bullet sprite sheet. It only needs the, where that is. In fact, let's pull that up now before I forget. Boom, boom, Visual Studio, grab that. Oh, whoa, I can give it a bunch of definitions? Cute. Oh, it's 520 by 361. That's probably important to remember, but we'll come back to that later. Although it probably helps if I just moved it to the source files. There we go. Okay, sweet. That's done. So now I can create something called M484 bullet collection 1.png. Great name. And that is going to be our that's going to be our create texture thing. Is there anything else we need besides that in create texture? I think no. And all create texture is, because I do want it to be an object, is SDL load image. No, image load texture. That's what it was. And in that we need what? What does that need? That needs, if I remember right, because it's not showing it. If I did it outside, would it show it? Of course it wouldn't. Type int required. That's cute. Ha 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 ha. I need something to eat. Have a good rest of stream. See you, chat. See you all later. Stitter. See you later. Bye. Okay, okay. So we're going to load texture. This load texture is going to be equal to what? Well, I guess we need to create an SDL texture. This SDL texture is going to be called local texture. Load texture will take local texture and fuck, I can't remember what's in that. Why doesn't it show it? SDL, god damn it, image load texture. Can I see what's in that? There we go. Okay, so this shows it. It needs a renderer and a constant character path. Oh, this is going to take the renderer of some kind and the path, which is M4. Oh no, which is just going to be path. In fact, I don't even need this. I mean, it will be equal to this, to be fair. Should this just be a function? I'm almost wondering how to better organize this. If you don't want RAII and all you have in the class is SDL texture pointer, you don't need a texture class. Yeah, I was about to say, we might as well just take this and put this in initialization and create the sprite class, or even put it in the sprite class, huh? And then reference that whenever we need the sprite. And then whenever we need to create a bullet, it's going to reference the sprite object that has that information. I guess initialization is going to need all that, isn't it? And, interesting. Interesting. Well, if that's the case... If that's the case, I'm thinking that we don't need a class at all. I think we're going to rename this, and we're going to name it Sprites. So now we import sprites whenever we need sprites. And we're going to call this Sprite. We're going to call this Create Sprite. Then we're going to do bullet. And I think I'm fine just calling it bullet, right? Okay. I think this is what we do. No, maybe we do call it Sprite. Fuck. Okay. This is what we do. Under here, we're going to have an SDL texture pointer called sprite sheet. And this sprite sheet is going to be equal to the value of image load texture, which is going to take a renderer, which is going to be imported. No, I don't even need a renderer here. It's just going to be SDL renderer pointer. I don't need a value yet, right? I think. And then this needs a const character pointer. So basically, that's the whole function. Now, can I get away with that? Not the whole class, obviously. Also, it might help if I clarify that these are classes. Fuck. That might help. I need to get something. All you have the class is SDL texture pointer. You don't need a texture class. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So the idea... Can I get away with keeping that generic? Could I, or should I have a constructor here? Sprite, parentheses, this. Where I have sprite, you know, inserted. Oh, wait, private variables, right. M underscore renderer underscore comma. And we're going to have that be an SDL renderer, which is always a pointer because it's a struct. And this we're going to have M underscore renderer underscore be oh no, wrong way. That. Wait, which way around am I going here? Sprite, SDL texture pointer texture, sprite sheet texture. You should not call image load texture in sprite. Remember, image load texture uploads to the GPU. You don't want many same textures for each sprite. But we're not loading a lot of textures to each sprite though, right? The idea here is that we're going to be creating a sprite that's going to be based on this texture, right? That's the whole texture. That's the entire image bullet sheet. Then we make a rectangle out of that. Oh, fuck. Maybe we do need a texture class. We have a texture class that gets this information for us. And then we reference that by pointer. And then we create the rectangle in here. Does that make sense? You should not call that in sprite. Image load texture is upload to the GPU. You don't want that many same textures for each sprite. Sprite SDL texture pointer texture. Okay. Sprite sheet texture. So I do want a texture class. Oh. So you're saying as part of like this process, SDL texture bullet sprite sheet is equal to image load texture local renderer comma M484 bullet collection 1.png. So you're saying do that. Which is now a pointer. Okay. So now that I have the referenced bullet sheet, also, hi Fonzie, hello. So now that we have the referenced bullet sheet in the initialization function, now if I ever need to call it, like in sprites, I can just grab that. How do I get all of this information out of the initialization function and into the thing? There must be an easier way to do this. I'm having the same problem we did before, where I'm kind of tempted to just have game loop and to just take everything I want as a parameter, like, you know, rect, renderer, textures, and then just have one big fat pass to game loop and then just do it that way, which is what I want to do, and I know I shouldn't. So I'm thinking we program around it for now. So this is no longer gonna load this, but it will take it as a parameter, which is gonna be an SDL texture pointer. We're gonna call it M underscore, or no, input texture. And then we're gonna call it M texture underscore is gonna be equal to input texture. So now when we create our sprite object, we grab that texture sheet as a pointer and define it here. And then we have a rectangle by input. We're gonna need a rectangle at input, right? Not actually here, just supporting you making a game. Thank you. Appreciate you and 19 others. Or 18, whatever. I'm confused how Twitch counts views. Right. Okay. That makes more sense. This also needs to be an S. Well, we'll define it up here. Now, what are we going to do from here? Well, as part of the sprite parameters, do I want, when I create the sprite for bubble, am I also going to want to put in the values of the rectangle? I think I do. So this is also going to take an SDL rect of input rectangle. And then we're also going to define M underscore rectangle underscore, make it equal to input rectangle. So this is a texture, this is a rectangle, a texture pointer. And I think that's all I need for the sprite, right? That's all I care about. Do I care about any Boolean values like is killable, yes, no? Is that something I would ever care about? Or is that like bullet? No, I don't care. Because what we're gonna do is we'll have like class bullet, class, you know, hero, class enemy, and those will have different values. Because if you're making a class enemy, it assumes that it is in fact killable, unless, you know, you have something in the game that wouldn't be killable. I guess if you have like static objects in the air, like I don't know, a cement block or something, then you could have like a Boolean value of is killable, and the cement block would be is killable, no, so it's something you have to dodge. But it would still be an enemy because it could like absorb hits or something. I think that's what the logic there would be, right? So I think that's all I really care about. So if we're gonna have a sprite, this sprite is gonna be calling. What is it going to be calling? Or not calling, what's it going to be doing? It's going to have a texture and a rectangle. It's not going to render jack shit, right? That's how I'm used to doing this, is like rendering part of a rectangle. Render copy is how you actually do it, but I don't want to render by the texture. Oh, no, I do. No, this is going to have rendering, right? So we're going to have an SDL texture pointer called M underscore texture underscore. And we're going to have SDL rect is M underscore rectangle underscore. Right. You know, you're saying right. I think I'm correct. Okay. So we are going to be rendering. SDL render copy. Ooh, do we care about angles? No, hold on. Oh gosh. Hold on. Fuck. Do we also need an angle input? No, I wouldn't do that, right? That would go under bullet. No, bullet would have the render information. Right? Wait, what did you link earlier? Okay, sprite would have the clip that you're grabbing the texture from. Bullet would have the collision box, and I'm assuming the angle that you're rendering at. So I guess what's going to do the rendering? The sprite or the bullet? It must be the bullet, right? Yes, that would go into bullet. Okay. Sassy Fajita! That was an amazing name. What the fuck? I've seen you before. I love your name. Sassy Fajita. Oh, I want fajitas. We want bullet as different rotations? Yes. Because, right? Because if I have a Nova attack or something, oh, no, I don't. Because the attack, if I have a class that's defined as like different kinds of attacks, like attack parentheses Nova or something. Or no, I wouldn't even do that. I would just have like Nova parameters bubbles or something like that. I guess that would mean the bubbles wouldn't rotate in of itself, right? It would have, yeah. The bullets itself wouldn't rotate. The Nova attack would already account for where to shoot bullets at what angle. The bubbles wouldn't rotate. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah. So the rendering would go to the attack, not the bullet itself. In fact, it has nothing to do with sprites or the bullets. The bullet would have the collision. Like that. So I guess the sprite would have SDL set alpha XDL texture alpha mod. This mod will take what parameters? Why does it do that? It needs an SDL texture pointer and a value. Okay. So this is going to take M underscore texture underscore and a value, which is an alpha. I guess I do want to define what that alpha is, right? I'm just debating whether or not I want another parameter. I guess I do, right? So SDL. Oh no, I guess I wouldn't even need that. It's just a uint 32, right? No, uint 8. Oh shit. Uint 8 value, and it's gonna be alpha value. And then this is gonna be inserting as alpha value. And then the sprite will also take a uint 8 alpha value. No. Input alpha value. And then, oh, this needs to be M underscore alpha value underscore. M underscore alpha value underscore. M underscore alpha value underscore is equal to input alpha value. Okay. Why doesn't this read as an active function? Even though I clearly have SDL enabled. In fact, it doesn't even run. Missing identifier M what? Oh, I defined it. You don't call a function in a class definition? I think I chat too much even though I'm a noob at game dev. Maybe someone has some other ideas. Some bullets spin faster than other bullets, but they look the same sprite. You don't call a function in a class definition in the middle of it. Wait, what? But it's generic values. Do I not even define it here? Do I just do that and that's it? How do you not do this? This is all private information, right? I don't want this to be public. I'm not ever changing these values. Classes are fields with functions available to them. Are you trying to define a function? Well, what I'm trying to do is that when we create this bullet class, it's going to have some sort of alpha value, or sorry, I'm sorry. When we create a sprite, it's going to have some alpha value that I input as part of its constructor, its parameter values, right? So this alpha value now needs to be applied to the sprite. So if I wanted like a ghost sprite or something, and I can give it like 50% alpha value because it's a uint 8 and it only goes up to like 255 anyway. You need a function to call with that function in it. Basically, I need the alpha value to actually apply. So what you're saying is I should be doing something like set texture alpha my own function, which is currently undefined, and then come down. No, wait, it's a module class. I can define things in here, can't I? Oh, you would do that in the class's constructor then? Oh, really? That... What? Oh. Wait, do I even need M? I guess I can do it. Do I even need this then? And I need a texture, so M texture. I guess that works. I didn't realize that would have to be part of the function. You need a return type. Why? Oh! Oh, wait. Oh, I get it. And then this is going to be input alpha value. Does that work? Because this returns just an integer. I'm assuming this should turn into an int then. Because input alpha value is a uint8, so that would insert correctly, and then m alpha value will take the integer spit out by set texture alpha mod on this texture. So I think this is correct, with the understanding that this alpha value... Well, what are we going to be doing with it, actually? Well, nothing, actually. Wait, no, I don't. Oh, I don't need anything, bruh. The reason why I don't is because this function already has a return value. It's going to be this texture, but changed. So it's going to take this texture, of which we are referencing by pointer. It's going to make that equal m underscore texture. So the median, I forget what the term, method texture. This method texture. And then now we're changing the value of this method texture by the input alpha value of the uint8. So up to 255 being max alpha, like invisible. And now this texture is equal to that new value. If you read the doc, you see this function affects SDL render functions, so you need to call it in the render function before SDL render copy X. Calling in a constructor does not mean much. Oh, wait, am I using the wrong function then? SDL alpha. Get texture alpha mod. Get texture alpha mod, set texture alpha mod. Wait, what does that do? Wait, set and get. Oh, I can grab the value of it? Ooh. Okay, texture. The texture to query, alpha, a pointer filled in with the current alpha value. Return 0 on success. Wow, that told me absolutely a lot. Sets an additional alpha value multiplied into render copy operations. Set render alpha mod texture int8 alpha. When this texture is rendered, during the copier operation... Hold on, I'm going to minimize this a little. There we go. When this texture is rendered, the copy operation, the source alpha value, is modulated by this alpha value according to the following formula. So alpha value is equal to alpha value, or sorry, texture rectangle is equal to texture rectangle times alpha divided by 255. Alpha modulation is not always supported by the renderer. It will return -1 if the alpha modulation is not supported. Okay, so that is for the rendering's sake. Wait, I can do SDL3? Oh, there's a third one? What's SDL3? Oh, shit. I didn't know there was a third. Yo, they made a sequel? Based. Well, let's do set. No, not set. C++ SDL. How to set alpha value of texture. Set texture alpha mod are used for this purpose. SDL get texture alpha mod. Decrease alpha by 25 unsigned character alpha. Get texture alpha mod. Get texture alpha mod alpha minus 25. SDL2 texture render target doesn't have alpha transparency. I've encountered a problem while programming with C on SDL2. I've rendered to the texture simple images of squares that are transparent in the center, but when I draw the texture on, they are rendered, they are not see-through. I've even tried changing the transparency and rendered texture with set texture alpha mod, but it doesn't change anything. If I change the alpha on the textures that are being rendered, the squares, they get dimmer, but they cover anything beyond them. You have two methods in STL2 if you want to have a transparent image. Static, use an image editing software and directly change the alpha there. Cute. Dynamic method, set texture blend mode. Sets the texture in blend mode. This section should be where you alter the alpha. Oh. Just put the changes here. Sets the alpha to the texture, redraws the image. Oh. So this does apply the alpha to the texture, but only if it's in blend mode. Because that gives it some sort of quality of like, is alpha-able, I guess. SDL3 is still in development? Yo, that'd be awesome when it comes out. I'd love to learn that shit when it's brand new. Then nobody knows what they're doing. Okay, so basically, if I ever want alpha, I guess this would go more so in like, I thought this would go on any sprite. No, I do want it to go on any sprite because like, what if we get hit? And then we have like 2 seconds of invulnerability. The way you convey that is by flashing transparency to the player, right? Like Mega Man X kind of deal. When you get hit, it's just like blinking that you're like invincible for that time. So I do want some sort of alpha ability to change the alpha baked into the sprite and not like duplicated among every single thing. It feels like something that should be on like a sprite level of like changing, right? So do I have to set all of my textures to blend mode where like you want some sort of ability to fade in and out? I guess I do, right? I don't think there's any downside to doing that. If I don't ever use alpha on like a bullet, does that decrease performance by allowing blend mode? Then again, I guess if I do in the bullet class, I could just turn blend mode off if I need to, right? I could just SDL blend mode off. I'm sure that's going to be a function. Okay, well, fuck me. I guess it is the alpha mod. So I was right. I just keep this here. And now if I ever want input alpha value to do anything besides 0, it's going to be baked in here. Oh, do I have to do SDL set blend, set texture blend mode, where the texture is whatever, module texture, and then blend mode, SDL blend mode, add blend invalid none, blend mode on? Blend, I guess. Okay, and now all the textures that we make through sprites are going to take that in, and they're also going to grab the texture alpha mod. I think this is correct, right? I think that's right. Music! Jeez. Okay. Not right. What's wrong? Why wouldn't this work? Set the blend mode for the texture used by SDL render copy. Sets an additional alpha value multiplied into the render copy operations. Oh, is that part of that? SDL... Hold on. SDL render copy whatever. That doesn't take an alpha value. Does copy EX do that? No, that's just rotation based. Is there another SDL render option that I'm not aware of? Maybe? Render clear, render copy, EX, copy F. What's F? SDL render copy F. Copy a portion of the texture to the current rendering target at sub-pixel precision. Oh, God. So I don't need that. Is there a way to render setting the alpha value immediately? I don't think you can, right? I think it is based around texture alpha mod. You don't set it for the texture, you set it for the SDL render copy X. You set it before you call SDL render copy X in the method render, not in the constructor. Oh. But if I have... Well, hold on. But if I have a thing... Oh! You know what? I think I know what you're saying. So you're saying we do need a uint 8 called m alpha value underscore, and then that is going to be equal to this. And now when I create, you know, alpha or render, whatever, which I don't even know if it would be in this function. When we have this function, which I still doesn't work. Why doesn't that work? Is it because... No, that still doesn't work. Why doesn't this work? Why is it because we have a constructor? No. Why is it that before... Oh, they're not public. Oh, fuck me. Okay. God damn it. No, that still didn't work. Why didn't this work? You need a return type? Oh, goddamn based. Okay, so now... That's not found. Okay, that's fine. So I should, in practice, define the function here, right? Unless I'm like organizing it differently. Okay, this is based. I like this. So now this render... Can I do something like M... texture here? Is that allowed or is that too early? Does it need to be private or public then? I'm assuming it's fine if it's private, right? Oh, it's not a type name, duh. SDL texture pointer. Brownie man, hello, hello. So, chat, just so I know I'm not wasting my time with syntax here, or not syntax, maybe just understanding. I know a class is all private information, but as somewhere else in the program, if I go, you know, sprite bubbles, and then this is going to be with whatever parameters we define there, as defined here. Then I have whatever, right? So now I have that object. Later on, if I do, you know, bubbles dot render with whatever parameters that are there, can I do that even though render is here under sprite? Is that allowed? Even though it's under private, I mean. Function definition for render not found. Render is private, so no. Okay, well then my question is, oh, I guess this can all be public, huh? Do I care if the alpha value gets changed later? I kind of do, I guess. This should be private though, right? The definitions of this, I think. Because then this gets changed. Why don't you just make it public? Well, because it's not a struct. Nope, that's the purpose of making it private. You have to put a public label above the function. Well, would I do it above the terms? I think it's fine to do it above the terms, right? Because if I want to change these later, that's fine, I think. because then I can make the sprite have a bigger rectangle and not the actual collision, right? I can make the sprite look different, but it's effectively the still the same act of being a bullet. If I want to change the value of this alpha, I can do it. I'm not changing the original input. I'm not changing the original, like, rectangle information I gave it, just these values. Is that bad? Does that even work, chat? Yeah, does it? A common idiom is to make all member variables private and most member functions public, so the data can only be messed with them from outside of the function. So, class, I think what you guys are telling me is that this should not be a class, it should be a struct. With the understanding that private, oh, I don't want private to be first though, do I? And then do public down here? This seems so dirty. I don't like this at all, actually. It looks so weird having public at the bottom. Is this a better way of doing it? But then why don't we just make it a class and just have private first? But then private's first, and that's so ugly. Why does that seem dirty? I don't know. When I think of a struct, I think of something with like all public data, and it's fine. It's just there to store values you can change later. Whereas a class always has some sort of private element to it. And all structs with private elements should be made classes. That's how it feels like it should be to me. You can leave the data public for now because you haven't learned about class invariance. Usually, but normally, you don't randomly put things public or private. There's a reason for things. Most people would make that a class with public stuff first and private last. Gary, if your constructor is private, how are you going to make new sprites? Oh, based. Wait, is that even true? Oops, that was Control X. Hold on. Let's go back here. So we made this a class, okay? Class, these are not meant to be public, but is this allowed? Can I have a void render up there and private here? Private first or public first is just preference. Don't worry about it. Well, I prefer public first. Yep, that's how it's often done. Skip my message? Daddy McGee! You can put them in any order you want. You can have multiple private public sections regardless of class or struct. Oh, chat, I will never in my life have public, private, public, private. That is cursed, okay? It's more cursed than these goddamn local variable names, okay? It's more cursed than this font. Yep, that's how it's often done. Wait, I can actually, I thought C++ was read top to bottom. So it knows. Oh, no, it doesn't, because it's not the variable name mTexture. It's just saying that it wants the parameter of a pointed texture. Oh my God, I'm so dumb. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm dumb. Okay. Void render, you also, let's see, you want the renderer first. So SDL renderer pointer. You want a pointed texture. You want a... You want an SDL rect for the rendered rectangle that we're going to be passing with mRectangle. And then we're going to need the uint8 with the understanding that that's the alpha value. Is there ever a time I am ever going to need more than that when I render any sprite in the game? Alpha value, rectangle, which is the size. Oh, wait. No, that rectangle is based on where it is on the sprite sheet, not how big the rectangle will be. But I could... How would I change that value? You already have mTexture to use. Why do you need another texture in render input parameters? Because I can't put M underscore texture, right? Because C++ is red top to bottom. This isn't going to know what it is. Yeah, this doesn't know what it is. It's undefined because this is coming first and then this is created. So that's why it's going to be generic, right? I think. I say that with no confidence. You don't need that. AFM, hello, it's going great. I mean, a lot of language just let you declare each individual thing as private or public instead of just having a label, so it's not that weird. I mean, it feels weird. In the end, what is C++ is not, if not rooted in feeling and backwards compatibility. That's why we're using modules. Fuck headers. You already have an SDL texture on line 14, SDL rect on 15, and alpha value on 16. Yeah, but where else are we getting them? Void render, const SDL rect, destrect, const double angle, const SDL point center, const flip. A way to think about that is that the body of the functions are read after all the member variables by the compiler. Oh. In the function declarations, you cannot use variables. You can declare variables, but not reference it. Okay, I get that. You don't declare member variables in the function argument list. You use them in the function body. You don't need to pass the texture in as a parameter at all. The class already has access to all of its members. What? You don't need to pass the texture in as a parameter at all. The class already has access to all of its members. What? This is a really weird way to learn C++. Dude needs a tutorial. I don't need a tutorial. Okay, I have my brain. I have brains and I have eyes, all right? Think class is like a container, like a bucket. No matter where it is, you can move them around as you wish. In other words, you can just, well, I think it's just a question of syntax. So I can use it without doing anything else. So I don't need any of these because they already exist in the class. Okay, syntax. The renderer I do need when we call the functions. So when we call this, it's going to be, you know, whatever. Render engine or whatever we make, right? That's going to be a parameter on it, right? And then we insert the renderer, and then this is going to be like SDL render copy EX, right? And then render copy EX is going to need the renderer, so SDL renderer pointer, which is not allowed. Oh, I need a path. Yeah, this will take path. Then it'll take the texture, which is M underscore texture. Then it'll take rectangle, which is null pointer in this case. Then it's going to take this rectangle, which is... Wait, no, it's not null pointer. That is the rectangle that actually separates shit. This const rectangle pointer is the address of M underscore rectangle. This other one is null pointer, but we have to look up the documentation on that. I don't remember. And then double angle. Oh, well, we'll just ignore that for now. And then that is this. Then you're rendering the copy. And that's what that does. So is this the correct syntax? I think it is. Why is the renderer called path? It's a local variable name I like to use. Double angle identity? No, I don't want to do angle. I don't think this is the place to do it. And I don't want to, because I think when we make our attack class and then we define an attack as a nova, part of that will be, you know, how many bullets you shoot out when you shoot and at what angle and at what well, the frequency is going to be in the game logic. But basically, it's going to be like if we have a nova and you shoot 5 bullets in a nova, so nova, parentheses, 5, comma, you know, like at what speed, or something like that. Speed, like 5 bullets, speed 10, or whatever that is. Basically, the idea is that in the nova class, you define the 5, like, you take a circle, like the parameter of a circle, divide it by however many bullets you want, and then, you know, that's where the render copy is going to happen. So you'll have 5 instances of calling bubbles.render render engine where this passes, you know, 5 times, but the angles that it's going to start at already change in the nova, right? Does that make sense? Hold on, let me draw it out in paint for you. Also, you guys are going to get flashbanged. I am so sorry. Ah, okay. So the idea is that we're going to have an attack. Whoop, nova attack, right? Here, let me even draw it easier for you. This is the enemy. Look, it's Toho, so there's a little diaper on her head with like little tassels at the end. Okay, so they're going to have a shot, right? Let's say we want to make a attack type nova. Basically, we're going to shoot out 5 attacks. How we're going to get there is we're going to have a circle shoot out around her, or like around her character, right? Some circle of some size. Then we're going to take this attack, will be whatever, nova parentheses 5. We'll take a circle, divide it into 5 even parts, and every part will shoot out some bullet at some predetermined speed that we also input, right? So there's already going to be 5 bullets. Now, when this render goes off, is there not a way to just have the rotation here decide the angle that we're passing the render to? Or should we be taking that double angle as a result of that banana, jeez, we've used so many bananas now, chat. As a result of that attack nova that gives us some sort of angle value we could probably find, frankly, and then we insert that into the render engine? Or do we just take the fact that it's already changing in location based on where the character is, that we just render that direction? And then it already faces that direction. Does that make sense? Okay, but path is a dumb name for a render? Yeah, your mom was dumb for me last night. If you guys keep complaining. Having the 5-year-old successfully create a working ion thruster based on oversimplified explanation is impossible. What? Here you can improve, explain like I'm 5 skills. It'd be a lot easier to explain stuff if you had basic C++. I do have basic C++ knowledge, you son of a bitch. Also, Daddy McGee, hello. Calling it a renderer would make way too much sense. Come on, bro, we don't make sense here. I can read it. Look, it's defined right there. How do you not know what path is? It reminds me of VB6 code I wrote in high school to troll my teacher, where I named everything random stuff like int llama, float banana cakes, string fumble dumble. Nah. Stop redeeming dum-dum. Everybody's redeeming dum-dum. You guys are bullying me. Here, sorry, I was loading. What the hell? 5 people redeemed dum-dum? Oh my god, that must be a record. Why don't you just pass the... Why is everyone typing banana? Why don't you just pass an angle to the renderer or make it part of the sprite? I mean, I guess we could define a circle as 364, because 365 and 0 are the same number, right? Oh no, we'll just divide it 1 to 365. So we take 365 and divide it by 5 in a for loop. So it goes up in increments of 365 divided by 5 until you reach 365. And then whatever that float number creates in that, because it'll be float I as we do this, that float number can be inserted into this bubbles render as a float I, basically. Well, the I would be here. And then that would go in a for... Oh, fuck, I should just draw it out. So for float I equals 1, I is equal to... I is less than or equal to 365. Fuck, semicolons. And then I plus equals 365 divided by 5. And that 5 is going to be some variable that we input, so z. And then that's going to contain... Oops. That's going to contain this information. Now, this I is going to be what we input into the Nova, so I guess this does need to be render copy X, where the other input is float angle or something, where now we're defining a double, which is angle, a rotation point, which is null pointer because I don't need anything there, and a renderer flip, which is none. Does SDL render copy X need a renderer flip? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. SDL render flip equals... Wait, what does it need? SDL renderer flip equals SDL flip none. There. Oh, fuck. Flip possible. And then we're gonna put flip possible here. There you go. Not Kim possible, flip possible. Okay. So now, whenever we render the bullet, if we have a Nova, which is going to be this later, now we can define Z as the number of bullets in the Nova. So if we have 7 bullets, it's going to be 7 in a circle around the character, shoot out in a direction. And then when we define the motion of the bullet or whatever, that will be based on where it's facing for this specific kind of bullet, you know? But if we have another kind of bullet that's like heat seeking, it would still take the same sprite, but that would have its own quality. And even though it's in a Nova, it would still heat seek, you know? It's 360? Okay, trigonometry weebs, what the fuck? Like, I know math. It's 365 degrees, baby. I once inherited a professor's code base for a work placement thing in college where there were like 200 variables, all of which were single letter variable names, AA, BB. Oh my God. Buzz for me, Gary? Ugh, chat, fine. You get 1, because you guys are helping me a lot today. Okay, I'll spoil you. Okay, you ready? Buzz, motherfucker. Okay, that's all you get. That's all you get before you get proper color changing on Redeem, okay? That shit should be automated. All I did was draw 2 wiggling lines on the screen. Apparently it calculated something. That was hot. Thing push stuff out, make go forward. Ocean comes in, tide comes out. Can't explain it. That's a meme that's older than some of you. Okay, so didn't that guy die of throat cancer or something? Oh no, that was the radio host. That guy was arrested for sexual assault. No, he was fired for sexual assault. I know my memes. Okay, so that's there. Okay, sweet. So now we have a possibility of rendering Nova. Are we done with the stupid ass sprite class? We've spent so much time on this. Is there anything else, any other information I want when it comes to sprite classes? Collision detection is not here. That'll go into the well, it's either going to go into the bullet class or it's just going to go into like a collision like module. And then we handle that separately. So if there is ever any bullet or player or enemy on the screen and there's some sort of collision between 2 or more of them, then it'll handle that logic. I don't think that has to be connected to the bullets themselves, right? Sprite constructor is private, as Brownie pointed out. Well, it's fine if a constructor is private, right? Because... Oh, no, that is a problem, isn't it? It's a problem because we are changing the values of these. I didn't really think about that. I was just looking at this and I was like, well, what's the problem with that? But that is a problem, isn't it? Oh, shit. Is it better if I do it like this? Protected. Is that better? I don't know what's like the more appropriate language to use. Should I make this public or should I make it protected? I think it should be protected, right? Because at no point is this... No? Oh God, people are questioning me like I'm a moron. Okay, hold on. I can fix this. I can fix everything. These get moved up here. Okay, this is a better way to handle it, right? Move it up before render would be typical. Oh, so you're saying we should be clear with our logic and define the constructor of the class we're using at the very top like everyone would expect it to be? Okay, that's kind of based. I like that logic. The problem is you have to call it to create an object of type sprite. You can't do that outside of sprite if it's not public. Okay, didn't know that, my bad. Thank you, Rectcorn. I don't know how you want your name to be abbreviated or pronounced because you gave me no vowels. So now you get Rectcorn. There's no problem with public functions accessing private members, but you need to be able to access, because this is, I mean, what is a constructor but a glorified function, you know? Chat, I kind of want to run the program to see if it even boots anymore. Doesn't work. Wait, what? Global module fragment can only contain preprocessor directives. Wait. What? Did I not save it? Now run? Missing a semicolon before, oh. Fuck, I didn't save it. Missing a semicolon? Where? At the end of the class definition? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wait, you have to put a semicolon at the end of a class? Oh, okay. I was about to say based, but okay. You could also have a static function that calls a private constructor. Oh God. Wrecked corn is a new one. Yep, welcome to C++. Nah, I got that feeling when we were messing around. I understand now, by the way, pointers more than I've ever understood them, and that is thanks to SDL and their goddamn requirement that I make every texture a pointer on creation. Dude, that alone is like, okay, I now understand what it is after everything we've done. Okay, cool. And it runs. Okay, sweet. So now this, nothing here is like missing a semicolon or anything. So this is a valid sprite class. We can add to it later. I just want to have a decent foundation before we start. Except he made a static function private too, so he'd need a second static function to call that. Oh, yeah. I like the optimism. Okay, stop making fun of me. No bullying here, okay? I'm the streamer. You guys have to agree with everything I say. Okay, so now we're done with this dumbass sprite class. So, initialization. Okay. Okay. So now, stop, don't redeem Femboy. Okay, you guys, it's ugly. I hate the colors. Don't redeem Femboy. Guys, it needs fixing. Okay, stop wasting your paint points. Okay, it's gonna get automated. I got priorities, okay? It used to be automated and then we got a new model and everything broke and it's like, God damn it. Are we ready to make bullets? Maybe before we make bullets, we just make the player. We make the player and we define movement. I don't know like a good like place to start. Try to render a sprite out? Okay. Well, now we need to worry about passing this goddamn renderer out of initialization. Although we could do the based thing and do like, you guys are gonna hate me for this. We're gonna add a module. We'll call this one actual game loop. Actually, I don't want to call that. We'll just call it game logic. Okay, this will go probably fourth. We're gonna have module semicolon. Yeah, module semicolon export game logic. If I even need to export anything, I don't even know if this should be its own independent module. I think another interface might be enough. We're going to be importing. What are we importing? We're importing sprites. We're importing initialization. We are. No, we're not. We're not even Are we? Probably not. Import sprites. Sprites having this. Wait, what is that exporting? Don't export that. Okay. Also copy these because we're using modules. It doesn't matter. We never have an issue. That's the beauty of modules. Hi, Preox. That's the beauty of modules, right? Is that we can have a bunch of duplicate headers. We can have like a bunch of like function names that are similar in every header. Like it's just a non-issue anymore because modules take care of all that. We're not gonna have any issues with like name collision or whatever. It's beautiful. I love modules. Try to use the sprite class and test it out. All right, well, let's try it. I can tell you guys are like, you found a mistake and now you guys are like, now we're gonna make fun of them. All right, well, we're not gonna call this main. I guess we'll just call this game loop. Void game loop. And it's gonna require an SDL renderer pointer. Gary, what are you doing that for? Because we're gonna call game loop here. Now I know what you're thinking, Gary, this looks ugly. And you're correct. But it's also not incorrect. Also, yes, I'm aware we need to now import game logic. Why doesn't that function? Oh. Local variable void game loop incomplete type not allowed. Oh. Does that work? Export the function. Now that is based. How much longer would this whole thing take if you guys weren't here to tell me why I'm wrong? Okay, now this doesn't need a void anymore, does it? Nope, definitely needs the void. Export void game loop this. Well, it's already going to take infinity time. No, I'm betting it'll only take like, well, the original plan was 7 to 10 days, so 20 to 30 hours of like time. I bet we could have like a basic ass video game at that point with like some trivial art and logic. I think we can do that. I don't know. Would you have given up by now if Chad wasn't here? Brownie man, I am very aware that I am the least stubborn streamer you have ever met, so I understand how you come across that. But some could say that I might be stubborn enough to learn anything if I really put my mind to it. Have you imported game logic in sdllearning.cpp? Oh, maybe I should save it. That might help. Oh, now it works. Chad, this whole saving thing is fucking my shit up. Oh, now it doesn't work. Wait, what the fuck? This is fine. This doesn't matter. It's already defined. Maybe I should retype it. Maybe that's the issue. Because modules are still so new. Do I need to do like void game logic? No, it does read game loop. The fuck? Oh, now it works. Local renderer. Oh, there we go. Now it works. What the fuck? There we go. Now, okay, sweet. Sometimes it just does that. You don't need void? Okay, so the void was fucking my shit up. Control-Shift-S saves all open files. Control-Shift-S. Okay, that's that good shit, chat. Thank you. That wasn't intended to be rhetorical. I don't know. Would you have given up by now? No, I wouldn't have. Okay, so now we can render shit. So let's do SDL event E, because I really like keeping that short because we're going to use it a lot. And then something like, well, we imported that, so I guess we're just going to use sprite. So sprite banana, its parameters being constant sprite and wait, I thought it had to list these. Wait, is it parentheses? No. 1 of 3. Oh, there we go. Oh, interesting. I named one thing multiple times, so it has like issues. Okay, sweet. So we need a texture, which is undefined. Fuck, I don't have a texture yet. Well, we can make that now. SDL texture, banana, texture is equal to load or image load texture banana dot, well, fuck it, we'll be consistent here. M4484 bullet collection 1.png. We'll name this bullet sprite sheet texture image load texture, which is going to eat that, and a constant character, which is going to be end copy and is move, or the other way around. I forgot. Oh, Jesus. Why not? Why make the texture in game loop? Because it's outside of the while loop and we're just testing. I understand that this is not like, this is like a problem. Okay, I get it. Okay, I understand. We're gonna have a separate like thing for textures. Don't worry about it. All right, we're just doing this to make sure everything works. What is the constant? Oh, we need the renderer first. I'm a dumbass. Okay, now we need render engine, comma. So now that's gonna work. So now we have a texture called this, which is fine, which is ringing up incorrect. I don't know. Oh, because it's not a pointer. Chat, why does my music shut off every hour? Please, YouTube. Oh my God. Okay. Now we're gonna have sprite banana, which is gonna take a render engine. It's also gonna take, no, it's not. It's gonna take a texture, which is bullet sprite sheet texture. Then it's gonna take a rectangle, which is the parameter on the texture. Because right now, this texture, by the way, is like the size of the screen. So now we're gonna take that texture the size of the screen and we're gonna render a rectangle on it. So now we need to define a rectangle. So we'll say SDL rectangle bullet 1 with the parameters of 0, 0, 10, 10, or something like that. And that's the rectangle location, XY, and then the width and height of it. Then, this needs to be, what's wrong here? Oops. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no, don't make that separate. Just move this over here. Okay. It does take a texture pointer. I don't know why this is ringing up issues here. It needs a rectangle size, which is bullet 1. And then it's gonna take a uint 8, which is 0. which I guess needs to be defined later, but it's 0 anyway. So now we've created the banana. Why would you call it bullet 1? Isn't it the location of bullet 1? Now that is based. Okay, so now everything runs. Okay, sweet. Now we are going to not render the banana yet. It seems tempting, but we're not going to do it, okay? We are going to have an event list. So we're going to say bool quit equals false, while quit equals false, while poll SDL, what is it? SDL poll. Fuck, every time I backspace, it doesn't let me see the whole list. Poll event of E, of the address of E, is greater than 0. Run this program. But we're not doing anything there, right? Because that doesn't matter. Oh, no. This is wrong. No, that's right. If event, was it event type? Type def type. It was SDL event type, right? SDL event type equals SDL wit. What do you need? Are you struct? I wish I could see you. It's an enumerated value. E.type. Oh. Why would you call it bullet 1? Yeah, it's location. Yeah, just checking if you quit or not. E.type. E contains the information of the event you are processing. So if E.type is equal to SDL quit, then wit equals true, and then we end the program. We're not going to put it in here. We're going to put it over here. And so basically what this is doing is, like, whenever there's an action in the game, we move our mouse, we press a key or something, it will check that frame, because we haven't done frame rate caps yet. It'll check this frame. If that event type is quit the game, like we close out of the top right of the game, then quit the game, you know? That's basically what it's going to be. And then later on, we could have, like, if event type is equal to mouse down, then shoot, or something like that. So while that's all running, then we're going to be banana.render with the parameters of render engine and float parameter 1, which is 1, 0, doesn't matter. There's no rotation here. There, and then SDL render clear, so that way we don't, like, copy a bajillion million render clear. Basically, we're clearing the screen, so that way we don't have to, like, render a million bullet sheets. Okay, I think this will run. Now, we did successfully render it. The problem is that you do only see black because we did not do this correctly. So let's do 10 by 10 here. Uh-oh, wait, am I not doing this correctly? 100 by 100. Oh shit, I did something wrong. It does do 0. Before I look at chat, I'm gonna try to figure out what I did wrong here. We have the X and Y values, the 100, 100. It's like a 500 by 300 image, so you should see like a whole bullet sheet, or like a third of one. We make a sprite called bullet sprite sheet texture with bullet location rectangle and 0. 0 being the angle of where you're rotating it to, which we're not doing. This is all good, right? We don't need to draw it. This does take care of the render. Where is your present? You clear before you present. Wait, what am I presenting? SDL present. Render present. Oh, I never rendered the present. Oh, you're right. Oh shit, I'm a moron. All I did, okay, you know what I did, chat? Because, hold on, I'm gonna bring out paint. I know exactly what I did wrong. Okay, I don't know if you guys know how this, wow, flashback, Jesus. I don't know if you guys know how this works. Whenever you render a frame, so like you're looking down, right? So you have bloop, 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 bloop. And then you have another one. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, so this is a crude drawing. What I'm trying to do here is that when you, the user, are looking at your computer screen, there's stuff on the screen, right? How cute, right? Now, there's also stuff that you draw under the screen. And how this works is that whenever you draw stuff on the under screen of whatever's under there, you need to actually put it up top, right? That's what render present is. So regardless of what logic you put on here, what was happening is we drew our image, but we didn't actually move it to like the very top of the screen for you to see it. It was stuck on the bottom with this black screen on top, you know? Okay, I think that's what we did wrong. So we are rendering the render engine and then we're clearing it. Maybe we should put clear on top, actually. Maybe that's a better way to do it. Okay, go. There we go. There we go. Sprite class works. Maybe we can make this a little more clean though. Let's do like 13 by 12 and we'll do like 8 by 8. This should be just one giant bullet. Almost there. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pixels. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the X value. So it's 7 here. And then it's gonna be, what is it? The 8 was fine? Wait, shit. It was right. Hold on. 13. This, wait, what am I reducing here? Okay, so our X and Y value are actually completely correct. The Y value needs to be longer. The X value needs to go from 8 to 6. Okay. 6 pixels by what? 12? Well, it tried. Needs to be 10. There we go. There's our bullet. There's our perfectly rendered bullet, chat. And now at any point, we can just have a rotation value of, I don't know, 20? There's our rotated bullet. It's that easy, chat. This game's already halfway made. Wait, it looks weird? It looks weird because we're taking a PNG and we're stretching it across the whole screen. That's why it looks weird. So if we wanted to, chat, what we could do, and we've done this before, is let's do that for loop. Wait, did you fix the bug in initialization? What bug? This? No, this worked. There's no bug here, is there? Oh, wait, I double made the texture. Uh-oh. I guess I could just pass the game loop all the textures, but that's kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess at the beginning of game loop, chat, is it better in initialization, instead of calling initialization first, what if we call game logic first, the game loop, and then we call initialization here as the first thing we do? And then we can like return the renderer. Maybe that's a cleaner way to do it. I'd say it's about 20 degrees. Line 12 is image inish, not what? Line 12. No, this is correct. This is not a bug. This is correct. Same with this. So here, let me show you why. SDL mouse button down, semicolon. So now you notice how there's no red squiggly there anymore? You highlight it. Oh, look at that. It's an enumeration initialization flag for image. This needs to be image because you're actually using the SDL image header because this is how you load PNGs. So now it's loaded. So now you guys see it. So it's a visual bug, not an actual like bug with the game or anything. It's just the side effect of using modules. You know, it's the same thing with SDL renderer accelerated you see over here. That's gonna have the same issue. Chat, you fool! I'm kind of surprised when SDL image works without image initialization. Oh, this? Oh. Oh, that still works. Okay. Note, to load JPEG, PNG, and or TIFF images, you can call image initialization. Oh. Note, no initialization is needed nor performed when using image is JPEG, image is PNG, and image is TIF functions. Wait, do I even need that line then? Can I just get away without it? Chat, I don't know how SDL works. Honest to Christ, I do not understand how this worked because this is a PNG. It's just to check feature support? Don't do this, please. Wait, why? I don't need it. Chat, that's one line saved. Think of how quicker our compile times are gonna be. Think about it, chat. It's so pretty. No, it also loads lib PNG, so it's useful to control when heavy load pause happens. Oh, okay, we'll load it back. Performance, chat. That's what we care about here. Okay, so now we have our bullet. Now, chat, I think we made a mistake. I think what happened is we loaded the image, but now it's always based on the whole screen. And I don't know how much I want that. I think I do want bullets to stay their normal size and then we resize them accordingly. Or sprites. I don't want whole screen anything anymore. So how do I fix this? Is that this render engine I need to fix? Because it does need a window in order to be made, because the whole window is like this whole window. The render engine is going to operate within the confines of the window. So if I make the window like 800 by 800, that's going to happen. But this is not intended. This is undefined behavior. Well, it is defined behavior, but it's not my defined behavior, chat. Hashtag not my behavior. So the idea here is I want to have that bullet not be full screen. So I guess it's under our sprites, right? Oh, this. I think it's because we didn't define rectangles correctly. What if we switch that? No, that's correct. Because the rectangle we input is indeed the rectangle here. So I think we need a second rectangle. And this is going to be bullet size. And this bullet size is going to be 0, 0, 610. So it's based off of the original PNG. And then as part of this, it's going to also take a new value, which is... I know you're supposed to add these at the end when you add new values. Shut up, chat. I know. SDL rect. I don't even know why I'm doing that. We don't need that in object creation. That can change. No, I guess we do want that in the constructor, don't we? We do want that. So this is, instead of rectangle, we're going to rename this. We're going to call it M underscore rectangle. Instead of that, we're going to call it sprite cutout. Okay, that's going to be there. And now we're also going to make a new rectangle, and we're going to call it the address of M underscore sprite size underscore. And we're going to use that. So now we're going to have a new rectangle here that's going to get defined as input sprite size, input sprite cutout, input sprite cutout. Usually those is called circrect and distrect, or sprite cutout. Okay, so that's done. Sprite size I need to input. So now we're going to have another rectangle here called SDL rect input sprite size is going to be equal to this, which we now need to define as SDL rect M sprite size. So now everything should work. Oh, I forgot my underscore. Okay, so this does not need an end because it's not the address. This is. So now when we come back here, this is also going to take bullet size. And now when we render this image, it should work. Oh, there it worked. You see it? You guys see it? It's a little bullet. Hold on. Let me fix this for you. How do I center that on the screen? Wait. I guess this doesn't care about it, does it? Well, we can fix that later. Basically, as long as I can do that, I'm happy. Okay, hold on. Now I can resize it easily, right? So now, instead of this, it's going to be... Well, I would do screen resolution .x divided by 2, but bear with me here. We'll do 400. Or no, 300. By 300. And we're going to make it, instead of 6, we're going to do 60 by 100. So it's a giant-ass bullet. There you go! Look at that, chat! Oh, call me a programmer and tie me in a bow. I'll be your present for Christmas, chat. I'm gonna be the next CPP conference. How to render bullets. I'm a goddamn pro, chat. I'm thinking the size should be in bullets because some bullets will look bigger than other bullets, but they all use the same sprite. I'm thinking the size should be in bullets because some bullets will look bigger than other bullets. That is true, but we can change that later. It would also make it more difficult because the render engine, the renderer needs that information, which means that whole render process needs to be put into bullet instead of the sprite. But on the other hand, do I want to triplicate the render function out? If I take it out of sprite and put it into bullet, I also need a render function for the character, the hero. I need a render function for the enemies. I need a render function for everything that's a sprite. But instead of putting it into sprite, put it into bullet, that seems like a little much because then I need to like triplicate. We have a bullet class? Not yet. This is just the sprite. This has no movement. This has no collision. This is just the image you see on the screen. We have successfully made sprites. Unless you want squash and stretch animations, then maybe it's fine to non-uniform scale it. Unless you want squash and stretch animations, then maybe it's fine to uniform scale it. Well, no, I disagree. I think the render should be sprite based. And the reason why is because when we render this, it's okay to have a collision that's different than the actual bullet, right? So if the only white part of this bullet is the part that actually hits you, then we do want to separate the sprite function from some parameters we make when we make the bullet, you know, we'll probably just call this one pellet, probably. So it's like hold on. We can try our rotation. Wait, I can make it. I can make the Mega Man bullet. Hold on. Here, it's gonna be rotated at 90 degrees. Okay, I can make this yellow, but I really, really don't want to go through that effort. I could, and I don't want to. Basically, so what's happening is, like, if the white part of the pellet were to be the only collision part I care about for whatever reason, then it's good we separate the sprite from the bullet, because the collision detection is only going to care about some parameters on the bullet, right? The sprite is just there for visual fidelity. The game logic would still work with no sprites. It's not sprite based, it's like collision based. Oh, fuck. No, that's not true. I'm sorry. The game can run without textures, but the sprites would still be there. That is what I meant to say. I think. There was a yellow bullet in the sprite sheet. There was, and I'm too lazy to redefine all the parameters. Non-uniform scaling is a minor detail. You don't need to do it. Okay. I mean, maybe for like the bubble bullet, I would. Okay. So what's the next chat? What's next? Where should we go next? Because you guys know way more about like how to make a program like from beginning to end. What's the next step we should take? Should it be we create like bullets? Should we create a collision detection system? No, not yet. Do we go for the hero? Basically, now that we have sprites, we have three things we have to create before we could really like try to play test anything. We need a hero, we need an enemy, and we need bullets. We don't even need attacks necessarily. I can have a floating bullet on the screen and just have the hero character run into it and die. Like, I don't even need like a attack yet. Show the bullets in a uniform circle now? Well, like make a bunch of them? I can do that. That's easy. The problem is I'm gonna need to redefine this. No, the size I need to change a bunch. So we're probably gonna copy this and we're gonna paste this, and we'll come back to Y in a second. So we're gonna do a for loop. Float I is equal to 1. I is less than or greater than or equal to, no, is equal to 365. It always will be. 360, shut up, chat. I didn't take trigonometry, okay? I is plus equal to 360 divided by 5. I don't know if that needs to be in another set of parentheses or not. Probably not, but whatever. Why is this green lined? Oh, that's why. Thank you. Okay, and then now what we're gonna do, these two are gonna go in here where the, okay, these are gonna change into like, ooh, hold on, what is gonna change? The X and Y values are gonna change. We'll come back to those. The bullet size, let's just keep it at like 20 divided by like 50 or something. What is the ratio? 6 to 10? 3/5 of the other? Oh God. 12, 18. 18 divided by 30. Okay, that's fine. So now this rotation is going to be based on I. Now the bullet size also needs to change, where the bullet size X and Y value is going to be changing significantly. Actually, let's do better than 5. Let's do like 50. So yeah, this'll work. It's a float value. This'll equal 360. Maybe I should put greater than or equal to 60. Probably greater than or equal to might be the way to go. Write the bullet class with the position data, then render a bullet in motion, maybe some velocity acceleration. Well, in order to do motion, we have to have a frame rate shit and all set up, and that's going to take a while. Figured emitting sprites in a circle given some arbitrary point will be useful for a Toho-like game. They'll be doing a lot in the future. Well, actually, Sassy Fajita, you got to be careful. The idea is that we're going to have a class called Attack. So the idea is that when boss character does the thing, what it's going to be, it's going to call... Okay, we made an attack called Nova. Nova with the... So basically... Oh, God. Basically, we're going to have an object called Nova made out of class Attack, where Nova is going to need the parameters of the kind of bullet you're going to use, like pellet or bubble, the number of bullets, which is going to be what 360 gets divided by if you're going to do a Nova. Like this whole thing, this float, it's going to go into the Nova attack, right? So this 50 could change to whatever parameter we want. So it'd be like T or something. And then the bullet speed or something like that. Maybe even bullet color, you know? So this size needs to change. But the sizes of the bullet's gonna stay the same. It's the X and Y values that need to change. Where the... Oh God, I'm trying to think about how to do this based on one input, which is I. There must be a way. Because right now, this isn't a circle. This is just an abstraction of a circle where it's not even that. It's just 360 divided by 5. There's no representation of a circle anywhere. So I guess this is already taken, like as is, this is what it's gonna look like. Oh shit. I guess I could just move this up here and then change the value later. Wait. Oh no. Oh no, wait. I don't want to attach bullet size to the sprite. Oh, I made this so complicated. Oh, why did I do that? Oh, now I see why. Oh no. I attached bullet size, like where it's gonna appear on the screen, to the actual sprite, which is a problem because now when I want to change this information, I can't put it somewhere else in the program. It has to be defined at sprite creation. Oh, I did this totally wrong. Oh yeah, absolutely, I did this wrong. Okay, so that's gonna be it for today's stream. I'm just gonna hold on, Control Shift S, file save. All right, sweet, close. All right, so that's gonna be it for today. Remember, we're gonna be streaming tomorrow, and it's gonna be a blast. Kenma Creations. I'm sorry, I got your name wrong. Thank you for following. Thank you. Dynamically spaced fonts are cursed. Excuse me, your mom is gonna be cursed when she finds out what font I use, cause she'll love it. Does anyone else think my eyelids below my eyebrows look like another pair of eyebrows? Does that bother anyone? So, Super Pink, Super Plink? I'm gonna call you Super Pink. Hi, Super Pink. Buzz, Kermit the Creation. No, you don't get a buzz at the end of stream. You get a lick. Come here, chat. What are you doing hiding in the corner? Come down here. Get down here, chat. Remember, for the next week, at least 7 to 10 days, we're gonna be making this game. I'm expecting to spend 20 to 30 hours on it. Everyone, have a good night. Have a good evening. I stream every single day at 4:30 p.m. PDT every single day. Baby, give me a lick. Ooh, chat, you taste kind of good. Thank you, chat. See you tomorrow.